How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today I'm going over my Majin Vegeta list I took to the webcam locals last Friday, and this is a really nice deck because I really love yellow. Yellow's probably my favorite color and my main color for the game, and it's finally nice to see Vegeta have an actually properly strong leader because we haven't really seen him have a incredibly strong leader, like a very good leader since like set 1. Some people could argue that there's the Green Majin Vegeta and the SS4 Vegeta, but they didn't really see much play, and that's like as strong as we've seen with the original set 1 leader, and this one could be the closest we've had since then. And it's really nice as well because it gives us some really cool, another yellow deck, another strong one, and it's just nice to finally have Vegeta, the second most popular or main character in the anime, in the franchise, finally get a good, like another good leader. And in a nice color as well with yellow, giving us more options for yellow. And like we normally do, we're going to go over the deck, we go over the leader first in the deck, and also I do have the main and side deck as well, so we can check that out too. So if you want to have a try trying this deck, hopefully this could be helpful. And before we get into it, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. We've recently hit 600 subscribers, so we're going to do another giveaway soon. And also as well as that, uh, any support is appreciated, so feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to get notifications, you can always hit the notification bell to get alerts as one of my videos drops, so you can watch it straight away. And because we're trying to get to that goal of 1,000 subs, we're trying to hit by the end of the year, and we're trying to see if we can get there as soon as possible. So thank you for all support, it's much appreciated. And now let's carry on and have a look at the list. So as I said, we're going to go over the leader first. So the leader is very nice. It goes from Majin, it just goes from Vegeta to SS Vegeta in Fighting Instincts. And the good news is, with its Zenkai series, it came with a Z leader as well, which we'll see in a bit when we get to the Z deck. Because that's where the Majin comes from, being that when he gets a Z leader, that's when he becomes Majin Vegeta. So with the front side, it's got the same auto on both sides, being when his card attacks, draw one card. Both sides, so you're still drawing cards, which is very nice. Much appreciated from that. And he's got a nice little Awaken, whereas either when your life's 4 or less, or if you have 2 or more energy and a yellow Son Goku card with energy cost of 2 or more in play, so that means actually in the battle area, as the requirement, you draw one card, untap an energy, go down to 5 life if you're higher than 5 life, and then flip over. So the great thing with this is it's very easy to get to your Awaken position, so if your opponent's not letting you Awaken, you're not being attacked, like against one of those decks that don't need attack or trying to reduce your life. You can trigger Awaken yourself, but just having a Goku, because there's I think at least 8 targets in the deck that you can play out very easily, very quickly to Awaken as soon as you want. And going under 5 lives is fantastic as well, because that puts you straight away in range of using your token negate for free by taking a life instead, and that gives a really good synergy as well, because you can Awaken, take yourself down to 5, negate attack with a token negate, and now you have 4 life for your super combos, and we have an effect which get you down to 3 for your Z leader as well. So very versatile in how to manage your life to go to however you want to control how you want to pace the game. And when you flip over, you're now SS Vegeta Fighting Instincts, still at the auto as I said, and now you have 2 activate skills, an activate main/battle, and an activate battle skill, and both for once per turn. So with the activate main/battle, it's switch one of your SS2 Son Goku, Destined Battle, or Trunks Rambunctious Son to rest mode as the cost. Choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and switch to rest mode. So effect that is basically a yellow thing of being able to disrupt your opponent, resting things, tapping things down, and even though it's got specific targets, one's a very good target for the deck, and the other one you can run if you want to. I don't really do it. I don't really run it, but one of the targets is a very strong target for that to help disruption. And the fact that it is main/battle means you can activate it before you go into an attack, or mid-combat as well, so you can either use it as a battle trick, or if your opponent's got like a token or a blocker you want to rest before you do it, you can use it beforehand before you get a swing. That's a great thing. And then you got the activate battle, which is really nice, which is add one card from your life to your hand. This card gets 5k power for the turn, so that's very nice to be able to control your life, because I said you got to take a life as a cost, and so it can help you put your life how you want into, if you don't have a token negate, put yourself down the 4 so your super combos are alive, put yourself down the 3 so you can get a Z leader, things like that. So gives you a nice little bit of control of your life total. And also is very nice offensively to give you a health 5k boost without using combat power, or defensively giving you some 5k boost, like similar to how Senzu Bean give you make your leader a little bit bigger to help us provide defense, like even better defense against boards that go wide at 15k. If your opponent's got a board of 15 keys to keep attacking into you, they're just going to go 15. They're not losing cards, but you're going to have to use cards to combo out. Whereas by using this to make your leader a 20k base, they're gonna have to start putting some combo power in, so lose cards while you're also losing cards to defend as well. So that's a very nice effect. It's a great effect to use offensively or defensively. And that's the lead, so a very nice one. Very, very interesting lead. And now we'll get to the deck. So starting off, we'll start with the turn 1 play, because every deck really needs a turn 1 play to make use of that energy, otherwise they're just wasting the entire turn. And for this deck, we have the Kabuto-Kai Patara on display. This is a nice little search here because it's an auto. When this card's played, look up to 5 cards on top of your deck, add to 1 Saiyan or Earthling card, both yellow with an entry cost of 4 or less, from them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So that searches for a good majority of your deck. You can get your Gokus, your Vegetas, you can get as well your super combo with your Krillin super combos as well. So very good range of cards you can grab with this, very nice ones. And after that, you're normally going to either potentially use it as a combo off to get combo power, get Z energy and stuff like that. But you also have a nice little effect as well in the activate main, which is limit 1. If your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta card, both yellow, and you have 2 or more energy, and send this card to a zone as warp as the cost. So you have this leader, 2 energy, and warp this card. And the effect is play up to 1 yellow battle card with entry cost of 1 from your deck with skills to give it a turn and shuffle your deck. So this could be useful to grab out things like your the Dimension Magic Cake cards like the Chi-Chi. Get that, like, use that, bring it out. It has the skills to get it for the turn, but then as soon as you pass turn, skills come back. So it's just for the turn. But the best target, and shouts to Mikey on our team for providing this suggestion, very nice suggestion as well, being to include 2 copies of Son Goku Vegeta Alliance of Rivals. Now you might be thinking, what is the point of this card? Because neither of the skills activate in this deck because it needs a yellow Trunks leader, which the leader is not. And so it just becomes a 1-cost barrier. So what's the point of that? Well, the reason this is in is because of the names, essentially. Because there's some cards that need either a Goku in the Z Energy or Battle Area, or a Vegeta in it, vice versa. Like for Goku, it needs Vegeta, Vegeta needs a Goku. And it needs those effects to trigger certain things. And this is a nice way to be able to have that in effect, have its lodging your Z Energy, ready to make the effects always live. Because you play the Kabuto-Kai, get the little search, use the effect, bring out this guy, and then you swing or defensively combo off from your battle area to have in your Z Energy. And that allows you to always have an effect, and even at the very least, it's going to be combo power or energy charge as well. Just a nice little thing, because you always want to try and see if you can get a Kabuto-Kai to play turn 1 to make use of that energy, and then by turn 2, if it survives the Kabuto-Kai, you don't have to combo off. Then you get this out and have your effects live for some of your cards. So that's a turn 1 play. Then we go into some of the better plays. So we've got 4 copies of SS Son Goku and SS Vegeta Ultimate Duo, a new card in set 20, a very nice one as well. And once again, just like with this 1-drop, it counts as both characters, so you still have that as well. And like we've seen with a lot of decks, like Red Sin having the Sin Shenron, Blue having the Goku Black, most decks nowadays have a 4-cost 20k double striker that can come down for 1 energy. And this is exactly the same, just in a different way you play it. So this is, as I said, 4-cost 20k double striker. Nice little auto as well. When this card's played, choose up 20 opponent's battle cards in rest mode. You need skills for the turn and KO it. So there's no cost range or anything like that. It just has to be in rest mode to KO it. And it is really nice in that it negates the skills and then KO it. So if it hasn't got any effects to trigger when it's removed from the battle area or something like that, won't trigger if it's got indestructible. You can get around that. Very, very nice card. And it only comes down for 1 energy as well because you activate main. Limit 1 for 1 yellow if your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta card, both yellow, and your opponent has 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So a very nice card for a fair few yellow decks. So you can use this in the yellow Goku, the yellow Trunks when you awaken because you have a Vegeta on it, and this deck as well. So we play 4 copies of this because it's just having a 1-drop 20k double strike. You can play out that against removal as well. Is a very nice addition, so definitely having that. And at the very least, it's good for the names too. So that is that one. Then next we have 4 copies of Prince of Destruction Vegeta Destined Battle. So this is the Vegeta that comes in the star deck, and he's a very nice one because the first thing you'll notice is that he has Servant. So you're gonna be a bit tricky on being able to get him out and make multiple uses of him because, as you know, with Servant, it makes it so that card gets extra 10k power from it. So it's a permanent 10k power on board, and the downside of that is that it can't restand during your charge phase. When it comes to your charge phase and you go to draw, charge, and untap, this card will not untap. But it comes down for 1, just like most of the cards do, because of his activate main, which is limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a Son Goku, Vegeta, or Evil Wizard Barbade card, all yellow, and you have 2 or more energy, you get to draw 1 card and play this card out from your hand. So it's really nice being able to play this out for 1 energy, draw a card to replace himself in hand, and establish this as a 1 cost 25k. Even if it gets 1 swing, unless you have ways to withstand it, it's still very good for just 1 energy. And it also has a really nice auto, and this is where the relevance for having a Goku or like a certain card of Goku or Vegeta either in use the injury and play comes into play. Because its auto is limit 1. When this card attacks, you choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less in rest mode and KO it, so extra removal as well. Very, very nice. So you get that no matter what. And then additionally, if you have a yellow Son Goku card in play or in using energy, and you have 3 more energy, this card gains double strength for the turn. So by having that 1-drop Goku come out by Kai and comboed off, allows you to have this to have, once you get 3 or more energy, be able to get double strike on its swing, be it a 25k double strike for 1, which is very, very nice. That's a very good one. We play 4 copies of this, because even if it can swing, there are ways to restand it, which we'll go over in a bit as well. And just the fact that it replaces itself in hand is one of the best things. And then we go on to the next card. We go 4 copies of SS2 Son Goku Destined in Battle. So this is the Goku that is referred to on the leader to be able to, that you need to rest for the activate main / battle. So this is a really nice card. It is unique as well, so you can only control 1 on the board, and it's a 4 cost 19k. And just like with the last 2 cards we saw, it comes down for 1 energy, but its effect is a little different. It is an activate battle, so you got to be in combat to be able to bring it out. So a nice thing is you can bring it out on your opponent's turn if you don't have 1, and then use the leader's effect, activate main / battle, rest one of your opponent's battle cards in unison. So nice little battle tricks there. But it is activate battle limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta card, both yellow, and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. And remember, this along with the ultimate duo are the targets for the lead to be able to awaken using the alternate awaken condition, because they're a Son Goku card that is 2 cost or higher, and it can only come down for 1 energy. So these are easy, nice ways to awaken. So you can swing with the Vegeta, plays out activate main with his activate battle skill, and then awaken there and then on the battle, which is really, really nice. And he's also got 2 autos. The first one is a really good one, why it's paired really well with the lead. And the reason why I include this, not the trunks, to be able to rest it to do those little tricks, is because it's also as if it's your turn. When you use your leader's skill to switch this card to rest mode, you draw 1 card, so you gain in more cards for the turn, which is really good. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card can't be carried by your leader skills. So that's relevant because the Z lead has an effect that can KO the board, which is one of the best things about this lead that drew me into it. And this is just really nice in that it's your target for the user leader's activate main / battle, the rest, so you can rest things to disrupt it or then run over it or pop it with one of your other battle cards here. And it gives you extra draw power as well, because think about it, because you're swinging with your lead to draw 1, and if you're resting this during your turn, then you're getting that draw from the Goku as well, to draw essentially 2 cards per turn, which is very, very nice. Not a lot of decks do that, draw 2 cards a turn for things like this. And you might think, what's the point that you're bringing this out and not being able to make use of it? Well, it's got a second auto, which is again where we want a Goku or Vegeta in the energy or on board to trigger things. Because the second auto is if you have a yellow Vegeta card in play or use the energy, and at the start of your opponent's main phase, switch this card to active mode and it gains blocker for the turn. So even though you're resting this your turn and not get a swing with a 19k, like you can either use this to swing as a 19k attacker, or rest it with lead to get an extra draw. And never worry, because at the start of your opponent's main phase, you're going to restand this as a blocker to defend yourself, or even use it for your leader's effect to wrestling as well if you want to control board a little bit better. So that's why we play 4 copies of each of these four costs. Well, 3 4 costs as well. And then we have next, we have Shenron. So I think this might be the last 4-drop. And this is a card that I didn't have for the webcam locals, because even though we've had regionals to try and pull these cards from our packs, they haven't been sent out yet, which is unfortunate, because issues with Bandai getting all the cards to the TOs, and they want to make sure they have all the stuff so they can send out all the bits in one go to everybody. And yeah, so far we haven't had this card, but this is a fantastic card because it's got all the keywords in the world. Because the 4 costs 24k, so quite a big power for the cost that is, and it's got deflect, unique, blocker, and barrier as well. So it's got barrier, deflect, two skills that should be on the same card. It's got unique, so you can only control one at a time on the board, and blocker as well, so you can use it to defend. It's a counterplay as well, and its counterplay is simply just draw one card and play this card. So you might think that's not great, but then think about how mecha charismatic villain is. So that's a card that has a counterplay, but then it's the auto that triggers it. The same for this card. It also does have a permanent where if you have a total of 7 or more cards, 7 or more cards in your energy, Z energy, battle area, and drop, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2, so you can make it as a 2 cost at the very least. And it's got a really nice auto, and that is if your leader card is yellow, when your opponent plays a battle card, you may choose that card and negate his skills for the turn, and if you do, he switches card to active mode and negate the skill for the turn. So it's a really nice card, and it's optional in when you want to trigger it, so you can choose when you want to trigger it, which is very nice. And it's very good in the fact it negates the skills of a card. So if your opponent drops, say, like for example, like a good example being the SSB Vegeta Secret Rare for red. They drop that, you can use this effect before it can use the effect to wipe the board to negate skills on it, so that way it's just a big beat stick and they can't use it at all to wipe your board for that turn and hit a life from you. And one of the really nice things of this is you can attack with it as well. And then as soon as your opponent plays something, you then use the effect to negate the skills on it and then restand it to have it as a blocker as well. So it's a very versatile card. I've only currently got 2 copies of it because I haven't got the card to try out to see how useful it is. But I could potentially see it maybe going up more depending on how helpful it is because it's a very good counterplay as well. But the only issue is with it having unique, you can only control one out of board. So once you've got one out, the other card in your hand is basically combo power or a charge. Then we have another one of the new cards, a really nice card, being the SS Vegeta Overrealm Might. And if you thought Mecha Frieza was a really annoying floodgate, then how do you feel about having more than just 4 copies of it? Because this is essentially the counterplay of the Mecha Frieza floodgate. Because now yellow has one that's on negate, one that's built on a negate, and one that's built on the counterplay. So with this SS Vegeta, it's an 8-drop. It's got blocker as well, 15k. And its counterplay is just play this card, so that's really nice when it's got the counterplay. It means you can get around things like deflect. And it does have a permanent reduce the cost, similar to how Mecha Frieza has one, but this one's a little bit different. And this is just during your opponent's turn. While your leader is yellow, your opponent has 2 or more energy and you have 2 or more Z energy. You reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 7, so you can make this a 1-cost counterplay, which is very good. Because remember, you've got to still pay the specified cost. And it also is what the floodgate is. So is when this card is played from your hand, your opponent can't attack with non-leader cards unless they choose one of their active mode cards and switch it to rest mode each time. And at the end of the turn, send this card to its owner's warp. Additionally, if your leader is a Z leader or you have a yellow Z battle card in play, your leader gains the following skills for the turn, being permanent, negate your opponent's strike skills for the turn. So what that basically means is that if you've got at least 2 Z energy, you can bring this out, and you've got 2 energy. This can be a counterplay version of Mecha Frieza that can also block an attack, which is fantastic. And then when you use the effect to play it out, it's a little bit different to Mecha because Mecha says anything except unisons can if your opponent swings with anything that isn't a unison, they have to switch into an active mode card to rest mode to be able to attack. And this one does everything apart from the leader. So Mecha is everything by unisons. This card is everything by a leader. So if you get both of them out as well, your opponents have to rest 2 cards, no matter unless it's a unison or leader. Then they have to swing tap 1 card for that one. But it just gives you more options as well, and it's a nice thing to have for a yellow as well for the SS4 Gogeta 8-drop. Being able to bring this out, they've paid for it, meaning they're going to have less attacks to clear your board if you have a wide board using that 8-drop, because they won't have enough cards to rest to be able to go out ahead and wipe your board, which is good. I only play 3 copies of this because I didn't manage to get enough for the webcam locals. I only managed to borrow 2 because I did get 2, but thanks to Raw Mail, they're able to stop me from getting it in time to actually test. But I play 3 because I feel 3 is enough. 4 might be a bit too many. Still waiting to test it out yet. But 3 seems like a good amount to see it when you want to, and you've quite a bit of draw in this deck to be able to make sure you at least see it 1. And sometimes, depending on the situation, sometimes it's better to have mech, sometimes it's better to have this. But this is if you're going to have if you can play more than 4 copies of the mecha, then you go ahead and do it. And then the next card we got, another card from set 20. We've got one copy of the SS3 Son Goku Universe at Stake. So this is a really nice way to also finish as well. And as well as that, provide a little bit more pressure in a big battle card as well. Because it's an 8 cost with 30k power. And it's got some very nice skills. I know this is one of the best, probably best used with UR number 1. And I know some people have been interested in that secret rare. But then it's not the greatest secret rare because you've got to pay free and it can easily be stopped by a floodgate negate, which is an issue. But this is still a nice card to have in it. It can help floodgate, help win games, like finish them off because it's only 2 energy. But as well, at very least, it's a charge or is it a 5k combo as well. So it does have it's 8 cost deflex, so it's out the range for those free counter plays. And it's got a nice little auto when this card attacks. Choose one of 2 effects. You either choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch to rest mode. So you can rest anything, any card, ignoring barrier. And then you got the other effect, which chooses one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So you can KO one of your opponent's cards in rest mode. And it comes down quite cheap because it comes down with the activate main for 2 energy, where you need to have, if your leader is a yellow Z leader or you have a yellow Z battle card in play, and your opponent has 3 or more energy, play his card from your hand, and if a yellow extra card is in your battle area, you draw 1 card. So before in the first dress I was thinking of put Planet Vegeta to try and find out your 4 drops, like Saiyans, have that. But then the only issue with that was Planet Vegeta's dead in hand if you have it in your hand. It's dead later on because you only need one, play really 1 unless you charge it. But if it's in your hand, it's dead. Is more dead than if you had a Kabuto Kai, which is a similar thing. And it also has a nice little activate main, which is limit 1, where if all the cards in your battle area are in rest mode, you get to switch this card to active mode. So if you've got this in rest after attacking once, you can then restand it as long as everything in your battle area is rested. And yeah, it's just really nice boss, like extra finisher at the end of it to just try and push through as well. Especially the nice thing about this is when you're attacking your opponent token negates, you can use the effect to rest that token they play out, so you can't block with it on an ever swing. Then we're also playing 2 copies of Majin Buu via Onslaught. Now this is a very nice card, and once again, yellow's just getting more and more good tools, just be like a generic good stuff deck. And even though it's got a lot of attacks, there's not many things that we're covering on this deck card. It's just an 8 drop 30k with deflect and double strike. So once again, just like Goku, is out the range of all the free counter plays. It's a nice 30k double striker, and even though it's got 2 autos, there is irrelevant for this lead. The only skill on this is the activate main that we're going to use, which is limit 1. For 1 yellow, if your leader is yellow and you have 4 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So essentially get the 4 energy, which is very easy for yellow to do. You play this out as a 1 cost 30k double striker into swing. So there we go. And we play 2 copies of this because the only issue with it is that it is a 1 cost 10k combo, so it can be dead in hand if you have too many and you don't have enough energy to combo it. But it's still a very nice card to kind of finish off like more threats. The drop very cheap as you get later on in the game. Then we've got our slew of counters, and like the Freezer Clan counters, like to say. And the first one we have is Metacaller Infinite Terror. So this is a negate that can be paid for free if you have a any Z cards out, being either Z leader or Z battle card. And it's a very nice one because once again, it's yellow, 0 cost 5k at the very least. And it's got a very nice counter attack, which is limit 1, so you can only use 1 a turn, which is it sucks, but it'd be too us if we could play it multiple over and over again. And it's a counter attack, it's limit 1. If your leader is mono yellow, negate the attack and play this card, so you get a negate attack and play it out. And it's got 2 permanents which play a good role, which the first one is how you play it more cost effectively. Where if you have a Z leader or a Z battle card in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. So if you just have to go into your Z lead or have a Z battle card out, this just becomes a free negate and that plays himself. And even though it's a 2 cost 10k, it's got another permanent bond too, so you just have another battle card in your battle area. This card gets 10k power and barrier permanently. So it becomes at very least a barrier of 15k as well. And having barrier means a little bit of protection to keep things alive as well. And 15k is quite decent to put some swings in as well. So we play 3 copies of this because they're very good. Just once you get later in the turn, you always have then that if you have any copies in his hand, that's a free negate to have without using energy, which is very nice to have. And then we have as well, next, we have the Mecha Freezer. Play a full 4 copies of it. I don't really need to explain this, but just in case you are a brand new player, I will just go over why this card is so good. Because it's a free cost, 15k, counter attack to get your attack player's card. But as I said, like with Vegeta, it's got a way to reduce the cost of it. If your leader is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy and drop. So the more extra cards you use, the cheaper this becomes. You just need 2 in your Z energy and drop. Energy and drop to be able to make this a 1 cost. And the Floodgate is relevant, similar to Vegito, because is when this card is played from your hand, each time your opponent will attack with a non-unison card, they must choose one of their cards in active mode, switch to rest mode. And the activate main is irrelevant because we didn't run a target for it, so I'll go over it. But we play 4 copies of this because it's a very nice, good Floodgate to help you survive turns a lot easier, and is one of the best in the game. And then we have 3 copies of Swift Retaliation Cooler. Oh, and this is a very nice one because it's one of the few counters in the game, and probably one of the strongest and cheapest ones as well. And this is one that I like putting up the free because at the very least, like with most of these cards, it's either a yellow card to charge or a 0 cost 5k combo. And it's very nice to help you push through your your Z leader swing when you go for your kill swing. Because with the ban of Champa and Hidden Kai, most decks don't have a double strike that you can just chuck on to push through a ending game swing. Because that's the best thing with Champa is that you can swing with anything, chuck put everything onto it, chuck on Champa as well to make it double strike to threaten potentially swinging a single attack for single damage, not being lethal, and then chuck the Champa on and make it lethal. And while a lot of decks lost that, some decks still had some like archetype specific cards that made it so they still have that kind of Champa effect in their own little pool. And Vegeta has one built into a Z leader. So one of the aims that I try to do with this deck is get your opponent down to 2, and then try and push through with my lead because you got an easy way to help control yourself to get down to your Z lead and trigger the effect. And one thing you really want is you've got it kind of covered in rest and any blockers they have with the leaders activate main / battle, the rest are blockers by resting your Goku. But sometimes they might have a negate and you want to make sure the leader swing goes through so you can push it all in with leader swing. Because leaders are the most uninteractable, like other cards that are hard to stop, where if they're in battle, there's nothing you can really do to stop it, you just got to try and out combo it. So if you get into a battle, make the effect to give your leader double strike and chuck everything in, they just got to hope and pray that they've got enough combo power, and yellow can have quite a lot of it. So Caller is a really nice one to help push through with counter, because it's just, if your leader is yellow and you get the counter, play its card. It is free energy though, but the good thing about it is that it's got an auto when you play this card, draw 1. So if you do use its counter, you're not losing your card from your hand because you're playing this out, so you still have it then to combo off, and then you replace it in hand to still have another card, so you've plussed it and forced the attack through. But then if you have 6 or more cards in rest mode, you also get to draw an extra one, so you can make this a potential draw 2. So play 3 copies of this because you at least want to see one to be able to push through and get that leader swing going through. And then we have the super combos. So we've got the standard of the 3 copies of our Krillin super combo. Just a very good one. Like all the super combos from set 11 have been the main ones they use. Like some decks use other super combos depending if they're more relevant or more useful for their strategy. But most decks use the set 11 super combos because they're very good. Where all you need to do is have your leader be the same color as this super combo, be it 4 or less life, and all your energy be at least the color of the unison of the super combo. And then what you get to do is you get to gain 10k combo power on that card. 10k combo power on the super combo, and then you get to choose one of your cards from your hand, put it to the bottom of your deck, and draw 2. So it allows you to filter out your hand, put any cards that are potentially dead in your hand, either defensively or offensively, to the bottom of your deck to draw 2 brand new cards. And I think the only color that doesn't use this is the green, because they have the Paragus, which is a little bit better, being able to see the cards before they put one back. So we play 3 copies of the Krillin being the best yellow super combo you can play for this deck, and using the best secret rare for yellow being the Piccolo Gohan, because this secret rare is unique in the fact that it takes up not just your secret rare slot, but it takes up your super combo slot as well. And it's still a very good super combo as well, because even though it doesn't do the same thing as Krillin, it's still a huge super combo as well, because its combo power is 5 cost for 30k combo, but that combo cost is reduced because for each card your opponent has in rest mode, which being yellow, you're going to rest a lot of their cards, or they're being resting their cards to be able to play things. You reduce the combo cost by 1, so your opponent's got 5 or more cards in rest mode, then you're going to reduce this by 5. So for every card in rest mode, it reduces the combo cost by 1, and being able to just chuck on like a swing extra 30k combo power with one card is very strong. And one of the great things as well is that when you combo with this card in the battle, as long as your leader is yellow, a Sun Gohan Adolescence, or a Piccolo card, at the end of the battle you get to play this card out, and then draw one. And then the other also is when you play this card, draw one, or when you play it or attack with it, you get to draw one card and switch one of your opponent's unisons or battle cards into rest mode. So kind of resting down so you can then try and get your swings through happily to your opponent's lead or to the card you want to attack into. And being a 40k attack as well is really good, just to be able to bring it out, and it's a good amount of power to help swing as well. So you can make one swing absolutely huge, and then still bring it out as never attacker. And then offensively, you're drawing 2 cards when you do this, because you're drawing 1 when you play it and 1 when you attack with it that same turn. And defensively, you're only drawing 1 as well. So that's normally a standard super combo package you're normally running for any yellow deck. And then we go into our overrealms. So here I got the SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit. The only problem with this is that I didn't have this one, so I had to make do with the card that it's power crept, being the Dark Broly Heartless Berserker. Because once again, just like with Sin, it comes in the same pack as the Sin card, and we haven't got those yet. And this does exactly the same as the Dark Broly Heartless Berserker, because it's a 30k 6-drop that has Overrealm 6 and has the same auto when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and set to as warp. But the only difference between it and Dark Broly is that this card has combo power, Dark Broly doesn't. So what Dark Broly provides no combo power and is dead unless you play it. This card actually has combo power, for the very least if you need to, you can use it as a combo. So if you're playing Heartless Berserker, you're going to want to switch it to an SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit when you can get a hold of at least one to replace it. And then we do play a second overall, being Secret Identity. This card was freshly unbanned from the list because Bandai realized that they banned it because they were bringing out more token strategies in the Toa deck when it was banned, and didn't want to have a card that just single-handedly just wipes it. And then they realized that no one was playing it because there were ever decks that were a lot stronger and more interesting, and it wasn't really a competitive deck. So they brought back Secret Identity Mass Saiyan because it's one of the more fair generic overalls we've had. So you got one of this as well, because you have because that way you have the options. You have SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit to deal with if you need to get rid of a single removal, no matter what the cost. You have the Vegeta, and if you need to get a wide removal, you have the Secret Identity Mass Saiyan. And even though they got a small bit in power levels, they don't have any other skills like double strike or anything like that. So they're more like for different kinds of removal in the deck. Then that brings us to the last 4 cards, these being the 4 extra cards we play. You can probably guess what the first one is because you can see, hopefully on screen, that you have the limit to 1 thing. So you must know if it's an extra card and it's limited to 1, what that card might be. And that is the power of a Super Saiyan. So yeah, if like this card's so good that it's limited for a reason, because it's that strong, so you're going to be playing it. Because it's either just, at the very least, it's a 1 cost negate. So you just 1 cost, pay 1 energy, negate an attack. But the main thing it's used for is to activate battle, which is if your leader is mono yellow, draw 1 card and choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, which is a rest mode. And yeah, you can't activate any more skills like this for a turn, but since limit 1, that is irrelevant at the moment. And it's got a nice permanent where if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can play the activate battle skill for free. So it's just nice having 1 energy open to just use this, go rest one of your battle cards or unison cards, and then draw 1 and replace it as well. So that free resting is very, very good. Then we have 2 copies of Final Flash. Final Flash is really nice because white has a lot of things. It doesn't have really much in terms of barrier removal. Like, there are some cards that remove through barrier, but there's not many in yellow. Yellow's more focuses on resting cards or negating the skills on cards. So it's kind of like control kind of color. And probably the best thing we've got for barrier removal in yellow is having Final Flash to basically just put more power into an attack and shut off the skills of a card. Because it's also if all your energy is yellow, when you activate this card, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and you get skills for the duration of the turn. So you can just shut the skills off something that you want turn off, and then just continue on your day. And since it's got no skills, it means barrier is negated. You can then go ahead and pop it with one of your skills as well. So we play 2 copies of that just to have that nice little bit of effect negation. So it's really nice when your opponent's trying to go all in with a triple striker. And that's not, at least that's like a battle card. You can just use this to go, alright, I'm going to turn it down to being no longer triple striker, be a single striker, and then either take the damage or still a combo out depending on what you want to do. So very handy. And then we've got 2 Tyrannical Blow, and this is because we have still quite a few floodgates in the game. And sometimes you don't want to pay free for Swift Retaliation Corner. Like sometimes the attack you're swinging through isn't a game in the swing, and you don't want to pay free to stop a swing that's not going to just finish the game. So you might want another way to deal with unison or floodgates. And Tyrannical Blow is a very good one, because most floodgates are like a cost of 3, around about like 3 or less. And Tyrannical Blow is a good thing to help that, because normally when most of the floodgates trigger on an auto, so when they're played, you get to go ahead and actually trigger the auto to do something. And Tyrannical Blow is really handy one to help stop that, because you can't play if your leader is a leader card is yellow. Just that's all. Just have to have a yellow leader. If the battle card being played and she goes 3 or less, it's played with its skills negated for the turn, so it doesn't get the auto skills because it comes down negated. And then you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons and negate your skills for the turn. So not only do you need to get to stop a floodgate, but you also get to shut off the skills of another battle card or unison your opponent has on board as well. So it could be really handy by, if they want a floodgate and have a blocker, you can negate the floodgate from coming in and stopping its floodgate from going off, and then negate the skills of another card that's got blockers so it can't block with it. It's a very handy card. And also these cards also add to Mecha Freezer to make it cheaper as well. And then the last card we have is 3 copies of Token Negate. Just very handy, be able to stop, potentially prevent 2 attacks, be negate with the Freeze Army Reinforcement, and then have a token blocker to block with. The only problem with this one, same with the blue one, is that these, while they're stronger blocker tokens, being 10Ks, they don't have any combo power, so once the turn's passed and they're still there, they're just 10K vanilla beat sticks, that's it. Which can be useful, might not be, but yeah, it's just a shame they don't have a combo power. And we play 3 because, once again, adds to the Mecha Freezer, a very nice thing to have because it's live as soon as you awaken with your alternative awaken condition, or if you just awaken normally, and help control and defend yourself a lot easier. So that is the deck. That is the main deck. There was the main changes I had for the webcam locals because I didn't have the 2 Sin. And I think I didn't have the for Vegeta, was putting in an extra copy of Final Flash, Tyrannical Blow, and also I think it was an extra copy of Goku as well. So I had an extra copy of Goku and Final Flash and Tyrannical Blow to make up for the not having my 3rd copy of Vegeta at the time and not yet having the Sin Shenron. So yep, that is the list. We'll go on to the side deck as well now. So we do have the side deck and Z deck. So this is what I have currently. So with the Z deck, I do need to mix it up a bit because I am currently, or was currently, running 2 copies of this Goku to have a good usage of restanding the Vegetas, but I feel like paying 2 energy for it might be a bit too steep because you're normally going to play it from the Z lead, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. But we'll start with the Z lead. This is the main reason I love this deck. I feel like it could be very, very strong. Is because it only requires 2 for a Z-Awaken. You need your life to be at 3 or less life, and pay 2 Z energy. So send 2 cards for your Z energy to drop, and be at 3 or less life. Which, as I said, you can control that with your leader being having to activate battle to take a life to gain 5k. So you can control your life when you want to. And as Z-Stack as well, which is Z-Stack 1 for a yellow battle card energy cost of 3 or less, so mainly being the Buu or the Goku, which you so basically as soon as you Z-Awaken it, you get to put underneath either the Buu or the Goku underneath this lead, and that become relevant once we see the effects on them. And he's got really nice effects, so now its activate main / battle becomes an activate main, which is once per turn switch one of your Goku or Trunks youth cards to rest mode as the cost. Draw a card and choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to rest mode. So the big difference for this is that it's no longer activate main / battle, but so that's a downside. An upside is that you no longer have to switch a specific Goku or Trunks to now. You can switch any Goku or any Trunks to rest mode for this effect. The auto is now built into this effect, so if you don't do this, you no longer can just swing to draw. You have to do it rest something to get that. And it no longer rest unisons, it only rests just battle cards now. So you got A fair few downsides. Basically, 3 downsides are not being as flexible as the previous one, having less targets than the previous one, and also having the draw put into it. And the only upside is really now you can choose any Goku or Trunks Youth to rest, which doesn't really outweigh the everything. So that's the only shaming on this. The best thing, the main reason you want to use the Z leader is for its activate battle, and that is add cards from your life to your hand until you have 1 life left. So the good thing about this, I've seen people comment a lot about this, is that the cost is to add at least 1 card from your life to your hand to go down to 1. So if you're at 1, you can't go down to 1 because you're already at 1. You need to at least be at 2 or more life. So you can go into it when your life's 3 or less. So you either need to go have 2 or 3 life to be able to use this effect, and it's a one-time use, because once you get down to 1, you can no longer go back down to 1 unless you rejuvenate, which we don't have in the deck. And the effect of it is to add cards from your life to hand until you have 1 life left, and then this card gets 15k power and double strength for the battle, and then you choose all battle cards, ignore barrier, and KO them. And that's both for yours and your opponent's boards, be able to negate, to basically just nuke everything ignoring barrier on both boards. Of course, when you have the Vegeta, the Goku out that you rest for the lead, that gets protected from the leader skill, and that's where it comes into, to protect from this leader skill. And you can potentially make your leader a 40k base as well, because if you swing with the leader, the Awakened leader, and get the draw, then use the activate battle to take a life to gain 5k for the turn, potentially putting yourself down from 4 life to 3 life. You then go into your Z leader, and then activate the battle, take 2 more cards from your life to go down to 1, to gain a 15k and double strike for the battle. So you're now a 40k base double strike, because you just gain an extra 20k for free to make yourself 40k base, because the leader already is 20k base. You just add an extra 3 cards to your hand as well, potentially more combo power. And if your opponent's 2 or less life and they didn't negate, or you counter their negate, you get to go all in with your lead, and it's hard, nothing they can really do, and it's going to be harder for them to combo out, especially if you got your secret rare super combo, to go to at least 70k double strike, ignoring any more combo power you can have in your hand. So that's one thing I really like. It's got a really good way to close out games. And the 2 cards you got as options to put in the lead, Z lead, is Majin Buu is one of them. So Majin Buu declares Revival. It's a 19k dual attacker for 3 energy and 2 Z energy, but you're going to mainly be putting this under the Z lead or the Goku. Now it does have a really nice auto when this card is played. It can be removed from your battle area by skills until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's both yours and your opponent's skills, so that's really nice. So turn you play it out, if you swing your lead and then go ahead and gain what's it called? And you go ahead and nuke the board, it's not going to go away with your lead, which is really good. And you play it out from your lead using the activate main, which is limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a yellow Vegeta Z leader and you have a yellow Son Goku in play this card from under your leader or battle card. So you need to have a Goku in play, which you can easily pull off, and you need to be in your Z leader. So that's the main thing you're going to do. You have the 2 options between the Goku or Vegeta depending on what the situation is. And this is a really nice one, because being a 90k dual attack for 1 energy is very good, but also can't remove my skills, so your opponent can't just remove it by just using a battle trick. And it even has his own battle trick, which is activate battle once per turn. Choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, switch to the rest mode. So if they've got a blocker and stuff, or they've got something they can potentially combo off, you can then go ahead and rest it using the activate battle, which is very, very nice. Then we got the Gokus. This is the way how you can really restand the Vegeta's Observant in the deck. And it kind of is a little bit costly, but then you can still play out for 1 from the leader. And I did have 2 copies, because I thought I could have 1 to go under the leader, and I could potentially have another copy to go with the Buu to play out, but actually pay any energy for it. So that's the reason why I had 2 originally, and I might switch that up. And it's a 2 cost 15k, and it requires 1 Z energy. It's got Z stack 1, so it puts any yellow battle card underneath it, which is mainly going to be the Buu, if you haven't already put under the leader. And the auto is how you restand, because when this card attacks, you choose up to 1 of your Prince of Destruction Vegeta destined battle, switch it to active mode, and then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and this card gains 10k power for the turn. So a more removal in rest mode becomes a 25k swing, and then restands your Vegeta that if you played it attack with earlier, you can then get more swings of it as well. Because the good thing about having that Vegeta is if you play it out for 1 swing of it, become a 25k double striker, you can then play this card out, swing with this becomes a 25k, just single strike, but it gets the rest of Vegeta that's already got double strike to swing again to put more pressure for very cheap as well. And this is played out for cheaper than paying the 2 energy from the Z deck by using the activate main. For 1 yellow, if your leader is a yellow Vegeta card, or you have a yellow Vegeta card in play this card from under your leader. And the only thing to remember with Z-Stack is that if you play it from under your leader, Z-Stack won't trigger because Z-Stack is specifically for when you play the card from the Z-Deck, not from under anywhere else on the board. So do remember that. And then the other cards we got on the Z-Deck is one copy of the SSB Son Goku Evolved Defender, very good card, one of my favorite cards for yellow. A nice way to just like stun and get a bit easier defense if you need be. One Oolong is another way, like very cheap way to help finish games, making if you drop a big swing, like you swing with your swing and drop your super combo, your secret rare super combo, and swing with that, you can then use this to bring this out to copy the super combo's power, being a 40k, then swing for big pressure for cheap. And then we got some good, like we got some more barrier removal in Vegeta. I think this is why I want to cut the Goku down. They have this never copy of this because it's a nice little barrier removal. It's a free cost 20k, so it's quite costly. 2Z energy and free energy. Plow. It does have dual attacker and 20k, it's not too bad. And it's very good in the fact that is when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in your own barrier and KO them. So you can get anything in your own barrier, which is normally in yellow it's got to be rested, but this can hit anything in your own barrier to KO it. And then additionally, if you use this skill to KO a battle card in rest mode, then it gains critical. So you get with this, the rest mode part is a bonus and not like a requirement for the popping. Just a bonus to get critical to the card, which is very good. And this is one of the pre-release promos. If you haven't got it, try and see if you can grab it from your pre-release if you haven't been already. Then for the side deck, it's I've got three copies of Vegeta Units of Fury for the decks that try to drop big thing like high costing things for cheap early. You can use this as a way to stop them. Very nice way to help. Two Trunks to Cunning, which is there to stop things like Android 21 and the Kaioken Blue Secret Rare. It's always nice to have this to prevent those from being able to untap their energy during their turn. Kind of like hinder their strategy of getting the energy back. And this is also a Trunks Youth to rest with the Z-Lead as well to get a draw. So you still have that as that thing. So you're normally going to play this cantrip, shut off people for untapping, and use its combo power, but then you can use it as a thing in the rest. You have Chi-Chi as Hate for D-Magic. Might start cutting this now because it's not as great, but then sometimes it's useful. And both Chi-Chi can be brought out by the Kabito Kai as well, and it's left there because it gained its skills back after the turn. Two copies of Son Goku Absolute Annihilation. This is a horrible card once again. Another card that has Deflect and Barrier, which should be the same, which should be both on the same card together. And this one is a nice way to shut down extra card strategies, cards that rely on extra cards. Have this as a way to just shut those down. And then Bardock, this is a really nice one to have as a flexible Overrealm switch. I like normally have that strategy with my side deck is to switch in Overrealms because you always side out one of your Overrealm cards for this. And really nice part about this is that Supreme Kai, like there are decks like Supreme Kai that bring out a lot of 6 or more battle cards, and you might not be able to deal with them as easy. So it's a nice way to warp them off the board by just overwhelming and get rid of all your opponent's 6 cost or higher cards to the warp. So that's very, very useful. I find this is more of a tech overwhelm card for Supreme Kai. Then we have 2 copies of Flying Nimbus. It's just a floodgate negate that isn't a that doesn't need to actually hit the board and trigger its auto, so like a nice little floodgate extra. And then we got an extra copy of Final Flash and 2 copies of Release from Evil. This is a really nice one. And it has more of the benefit of being able to hit leaders and negate the skills and stop the card from rest. It's shutting down any cards that's got triple or dual attack. And also negating the skills on leader cards that could be very impactful. And with this as well, there's quite easy ways to side this in. Like normally with the Release from Evil, it'll come down to if you feel like Final Flash is useful. So for Release from Evil, you're normally either going to be siding out your copies of Tyrannical Blow or Final Flash, depending on which one's useful. So if you feel like in a matchup, Tyrannical Blow is not going to be useful as a good counter play for in that matchup, you side them out for Release from Evil. Or if you feel like Final Flash isn't going to be as useful as a like a way to shut off skills, and you want something before they attack, then you got Release from Evil to switch out the Final Flashes. And then same thing as well with Final Flash. If you feel like you're not going to be using the Tyrannical Blow as much, or you feel like you don't need as many token negates, you can switch the 1 copy of those out for a 3rd copy of Final Flash. It's always best to like replace the extra cards with the extra cards. And same with Nimbus. If you feel like either Final Flash or Flying Nimbus is normally for Tyrannical Blow. If you feel like the counterplay is going to be useful and you need a more defensive option than if you don't need the floodgate the counterplay to deal with the floodgates and feel you need more defensive options, you can take out Tyrannical Blow for Flying Nimbus to give that more defense. And then Bardock, That's pretty simple. With the Overrealm, you either choose to it depends on which Overrealm you feel is going to be useful. So whichever Overrealm you feel is not going to be useful in that matchup, you can take it out for the Bardock. So if you want to bring the Bardock and say Secret Identity is not going to be useful, you can talk about Secret Identity for the Bardock. Or if you feel like the Vegeta is not going to be useful, you want more wide range removal in your Overrealm, you can take out the Vegeta for the Bardock. So you take out one of the Overrealms for this target. And then for Son Goku Absolute Annihilation, when it comes to this, one you could probably take out is if you're trying to be more controlling, you could take out the Boo here, as that way you can take out a potential dead combo card is more flexible, like one of these big 8 drops, so the Goku or the Majin Buu, to switch out for it, to add that more flexibility, because all the other cards you're not going to really want to take out, they're part of the main strategy. And then the same thing, and then with the Trunks and Chi-Chi, the options you got is, once again, you have got the Majin Buu you can take out to have less dead cards, to have more useful ones that then are counter Troll, can be used early, not dead. Or you could take out the Goku and Vegeta if you feel like you don't really need those and you've got enough, because you've already got these other cards, you can get them set up and have those as ways for the Kibito card to bring them out as well. Or if you thought you still want, or if you want to, you've got these 6 cards here that are more flexible, being the Kibito Kai and the Gokus to switch out. So if you want to put in, say, the 2 Trunks, the 2 Chi-Chi, and the 2 Goku Absolute Annihilation, you've also got those 6 cards you can also switch out as well. But more than likely, you're going to switch out the Goku, the Buu for the Goku, and then the 1-drop Trunks Vegeta for the Chi-Chi, and Trunks Cunning, and same thing as well, to get those replacing the 1-drops for 1-drops to actually do something as well. Then for Vegeta, Unison Fury, you want to take out cards that are also going to be potentially dead in your hand. So those are normally going to be at least a 2 Buu, so you've got, because you don't want to increase the amount of deck cards in your hand, you want to take out the 2 Buu, and potentially taking out the Goku as well, because you've got other ways to just push through with small pressure. Now the Goku still is quite costly and costs 2 energy, and if you feel like the Goku isn't going to be useful, take that out. And the only other thing you could potentially take out is potentially some an extra call to counter if you think it would be useful as well. But most of the time, the Buu is going to be the flexible option. So with the Goku, switch out, and you want to, yeah, as I said, switch out dead cards for dead cards. So taking out the, if you want to put in the unison, take out the Buu and the Goku. So hopefully that's helpful for learning outside. And then when it comes to turn progression, you normally turn 1 Kibito Kai, play that out, and turn 2, depending if we want to be more aggressive or defensive, you can make use of energy with either never Kibito Kai, play your Son Goku and your Goku Vegeta Ultimate Duo if you're going second to get some more pressure, or play out the Vegeta to get a swing. But normally Vegeta you want to kind of save unless you need to for turn 3, so that, because it needs to be a turn, you need to have at least 3 energy to get double strikes. So you want to save it for them. But normally turn 1 is Kibito Kai, turn 2 is potentially never Kibito Kai after using the first one to go into the Alliance of Rivals to get that and use the energy ready. And then for turn 3 onwards, that's when you start basically being flexible with how you want to play. You got the 1-drops, you got the Goku as well. Is something you want to do defensively on your turn 2. Play out the SS2 Son Goku Destined Battle defensively on your opponent's turn, so you can have it ready already in your battle area without wasting your energy to have it ready for your turn. And then when you awaken, switch to rest mode, get a draw from your leader swing and from that Goku. Because the longer that Goku's there, the more it's drawing for you, drawing extra cards using the activate main/battle. And yeah, so turn 1 is basically Kibito Kai, turn 2 is Kibito Kai plus the Goku defensively, and turn 3 onwards, it depends what's in your hand and how you want to go ahead, because that's when your Vegeta's then live to make double strike. And remember as well, your opponent needs at least 2 energy when you drop this Goku. So go in second, you can drop it turn 2, but otherwise you want to drop it turn 3 when your opponent's got 2 energy. Okay, so that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hope this was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.